Everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
It may well possess a rudimentary intelligence.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Felt a great disturbance in the force.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Come on, work like a dog for me.
Where's the goodies?
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
You filthy criminal.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Here are your hosts, Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. The man you're looking at is Walter Townsend, one of our high-ranking intelligence officers, whom we recently discovered is a top enemy agent. Your mission, Jim, should you decide to accept it, is to make Stefan believe Townsend's information. As always, should you or any of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
Aha, welcome to Everything Old is New Again. Douglas Viviani here with the original himself, David Cohen.
Yes, I'm here.
That's good to hear. Listen, that's a little clip of Mission Impossible from the 1960s. Why?
Wow, that was like 100 years ago.
It is now. Why in the world am I playing that? Is that even relevant? Is that something, Everything Old is New Again? Is that something to talk about, to create a whole show about? Yes and no.
My guess is yes.
What we're going to do, I think, in the next two shows is pretty interesting. I think because of the pandemic, but for whatever reason, 2022, there are a lot of movies slated to be released and are being released in all different formats, whether it's in the theater, Netflix, whatever it might be, a combination and all that stuff that's happening now, right? So the question is, and the proposition is, that with all of these movies, I took a look at them. Lots of them are based upon either a sequel, a bio of like a biopic, or based upon a old classic movie, or a reboot. Lots of them. That's all old is new again, of course. That's our theme, right? I mean, that's the whole point, is all these movies have got a history. Does that make sense so far, David Cohen?
Makes sense so far.
Well, the next thought is, all right, well, what happened to coming out with an original idea, an original movie, something we haven't seen before? Is it possible? Have we run out of ideas? Are there something new, or is there something new that can be, explored? Or are we just going to keep on rerunning and going old, new again? And I guess the subset of that is with the new movies, I should say the old, new again movies, ones that are based upon something in the past, are they adding? Are they doing something new and creative, such as we spoke about, David Cohen, if you remember in the past shows, we spoke about, music and songs that have been redone, right? And you sort of made a kind of, what would you say, a rule there, or some kind of guidelines to what makes a good remake and what doesn't. Do you remember?
Yes.
Now, can we use
you are
that?
Correct, sir.
Can we use that same kind of a rule here to determine, is this, Star Wars movie, the 9th one, for example, is this any good? Do we need to see it as a recreation, or is it just the same old thing over and over again? Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. Don't sound so excited. We're going to dive into that.
I'm thinking about it.
Well, I mean...
yeah, okay, sure.
I mean, Mission Impossible has got a Tom Cruise movie coming out this year.
This guy doesn't stop with the Mission Impossible movie.
It's literally number 7 now. Okay?
7 with him.
With him, right? Ving Rhames,
all with him.
Simon Pegg, but he's all 7. By the way, one thing and
he does his own stunts. Yes, we know.
No, but what I love about Tom Cruise and hate about him at the same time is, if you look at the movies he made 30 years ago, and you look at him now, pretty much the same exact guy. Same body, same face. He hasn't aged at all. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I agree.
So now, Mission Impossible 7. We know the idea of what it's going to be. Do you think they're covering new ground?
They don't have to. No, you're going to
go see it?
Impossible movies. Yeah, I like them. I think the ones he's done, I think I've seen them all.
I think I have too.
I think he does a good job with them, and I don't feel guilty about admitting that I think I've enjoyed almost all of them.
And you know what's fascinating about them? He does his own stunts.
I did not know that.
All right, so there's one that we think, probably will see, but I don't know that it's anything new. But it's sort of like James Bond. You get the idea. It's going to be the same kind of thing.
Exactly.
But you like that it's there.
But that's what you want to see it, right? You want to see more of the same thing. You want to see what kind of new stunts they're going to do, and you know the story. You know how it's going to end.
Well, you know they started off.
Experience.
Yeah, but they started off with the mole.
Feel free to jump in while I'm talking. By the way.
Feel free to get to the point. No, the point is, they started off with the IM force not being outlawed. I like when they're not outlawed, and it's still been outlawed in all these movies. Why can't we have the IM force be working together against some outside enemy? That's the problem I have with these movies. Right? The last movie.
Is that really a problem you have with? Are you going to see it anyway, though?
I may not, because I'm getting tired of them fighting internally. Let's see one. I get that for a couple of movies, but for all 7, you're fighting your own IM force and you're fighting the Russians or whatever.
Does it matter though? They're enjoyable, right?
Not really.
Have you enjoyed the movies?
No, I like the music. That's about it at this point. All right, how about something David Cohen's going to introduce to us if he knows? A little clip here of Against the Ice. This is brand new.
Know that no one is coming to get you.
Brand new idea.
You're going to die up here.
Do you believe in ghosts, Captain?
You might freeze to death, starve, lose your mind, but we must push on.
An expedition, basically, an old-school expedition gets lost, and this ship gets stuck in the middle of an iceberg. Do you like it? You don't like it? It's actually, I don't even know if it's new because it's based upon a true story. So it's not that much new, but do you go for that? You don't go for it. What do you think?
No, I do. I've noticed I would say the last couple of years that anything that, I'm assuming this is like a Norwegian-based production, Norway or is Danish or Swedish. Anything that's come out, though, recently has been really, really good, whether it's a movie or a TV series. So the fact that I believe, because most of the actors in it appear to be, Swedish or Norwegian or Danish, I'll see it just for that reason. Because they've made some fantastic movies out of that area of the world.
All right, so we'll go for that.
Did I get to the point quickly there?
Yes, you did. I don't know why, though. I'm curious. I don't know if we have the answer. Why? What happened to them? Did they get some infusion of I don't know, money or know-how or something? Why all of a sudden a movie's coming out from that area?
Maybe they're just getting exposure for the first time, because they have all these other channels, these outlets now, like Netflix.
Right.
So it could be that they've always been around, but they haven't been as available, widely distributed. If all you could see in the past was coming out in theaters, the field was too crowded, but now there's other outlets. So I think so.
It sounds like someone's disagreeing with you. They're coming to get you, I think. I'm hearing the sirens.
Yeah, well, it's New York City living, baby. What can I tell you?
All right, talk about living. How about these two?
I also want a large orange soda with no ice.
It's a drive-through.
And
Shut up. Go away.
Did you get all that?
We're like, closed or something. Go away.
That was cool.
Yeah. Customers suck.
Beavis and Butthead are back.
I couldn't tell if that was a clip or you.
I do sound like that. You suck. I'm telling you, Beavis and Butthead were what would you say? A phenomenon, no? Back in the 90s?
A phenomenon.
Leo and I are at a fair before Christmas. One of those fairs at like a high school. The trade.
Leo being your son, just for any new listeners out there.
Yep. And
by the way, hello, new listener.
He's 9, and he wanted to buy something for Uncle John at this like a craft fair. And there's someone, I don't know if they made them, imported them, whatever, had socks with Beavis and Butthead on them.
Oh, cool.
Leo, and here's a generation gap. I looked at him and go, oh my God, these are great. He would love that. Leo goes, what is that? I have no idea. He had no idea what that was. And I didn't know that I wanted to introduce him to Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, they were a little more adult themed.
Exactly. So I didn't. I showed him like little clips like that. But they're back. Will they foster a new generation? Is this going to be just something for goofs like us to watch this on like, I don't know, some Saturday afternoon? And will you even go to the theater to see it, wait for it to come to on demand?
I will not go to the theater to see it. I will wait till it is on TV. I can watch it from the comfort of my home.
They stole my money the last time. In the 90s, I went with my brother-in-law to go see the Beavis and Butthead movie, They Take America or something, and it was the biggest waste of money I've ever spent.
Why?
Because it's the same thing. All I heard was these two laughing the entire time. It had no plot, and it wasn't really funny.
That's interesting, because I remember when The Simpsons came out with their big movie. I saw it in the theater. And if you remember, Homer comes on right away and basically starts making fun of he's talking to us in the audience, telling us that we've wasted our money coming when we could eventually see it on TV. So they made it obvious from the start. But I was very happy I saw it in the theater. It was the experience of being in a movie theater. We've talked about this before, and with a crowd of people and hearing,
especially for a comedy. Exactly. We'll be back. Speaking of comedies, right after this, everything old's new again.
You're listening to Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Life hits you with all these cheap shots. People like me, we live in the past. You got people that need you now.
This is our chance to rewrite history.
Don't pretend this is about your father.
What's your prediction for the fight then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain. Welcome to Everything Old is New Again. David Cohen, Douglas Viviani, talking movies 2022. That's a little clip from Creed 3, which will not in any way, I guess just in a flashback, have Sylvester Stallone in it. He's now, the new character, Creed, is now just on his own. Michael B. Jordan is trying to make his own character study. But what's interesting, did you hear the end of that? Who was that said pain? Do you remember that, David Cohen?
No.
That was Mr. T, when he was the villain in the third, I believe it was the third Rocky movie. So now they're going to go back, and the villain, so to speak, in Creed 3 is going to be his son.
It's going to be Mr. T's son?
Yeah, well, I forget that character's name.
Don't these offspring go on and just go do their own careers?
That's
Why are they always
that's my
following
question.
in their parents' footsteps?
Yeah, that's my question. And they want to separate themselves from Rocky, which I get, but they're not separating themselves from Rocky because now you had Dolph Lundgren's son in the last movie, and now you've got Mr. T's son in this movie. So
100 years from now, it's going to be like, oh, wait, that's Mr. T's great-granddaughter. Oh, they're continuing the...
And she marries Rocky's, son. It's like great-grandson. Yeah, exactly.
Grand-nephews, yeah.
And they come up with one giant superhero that's going to battle Godzilla. Something like that. All right.
I'd watch that.
All right, so there's that. Now, also, we're just going to talk. Sylvester Stallone is also going to be in a movie called Samaritan. So he's not doing Creed 3, but we're going to go and listen to this. So
Bank they robbed, the FBI was investigating him for fraud.
Detective, you've had years to solve this, but you got nothing.
That's going to fit in perfectly with all the evidence you haven't given me.
Your hunch might be right.
I'm on my way.
All right, so it's odd to hear what that is all about. It sounds like a crime drama. It's not. Good Samaritan, or Samaritan, actually, is an upcoming superhero film where Stallone is what? Do you remember this one, David Cohen? What's up with this?
No.
He is a famed superhero, but then disappears for like 20 years. And
he's a superhero.
Yes, but the question is, he disappeared. Did he really disappear? Sounds like he became a police officer or something. So there's something going on there. It's a little different. It could be interesting. I don't know. Any interest in this at all?
Yeah, only because I see that one of the guys from Freaks and Geeks is in it. So I'll watch it for that. Martin Starr.
Okay, so there you go. Starr. No relation to Ringo.
I'd rather no relation, but I'd rather watch Martin Starr at this point than Sylvester Stallone anymore.
Interesting. Wow, just as I'm just about ready to get him on the show. All right, so
come on, who?
Sylvester Stallone, but
come on.
No, they wanted. I shouldn't say. They wanted a stipend to be on the show.
A stipend?
A couple dollars
from us.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is asking us for money. Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
So now, let's
show on that.
We will. There's a Jurassic World Dominion coming out now. The latest, the third in the trilogy.
Dominion? What does that mean?
Dominion. Let's see what it's.
Oh, that's the name of the movie, Jurassic World Dominion.
They find her, we're never going to see her again. We got to protect her. That's our.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist.
We created an ecological disaster. Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
We not only lack dominion over nature, we're subordinate to it.
All right, so that's got Chris Pratt. Then you're going back, you're going to have, of course, Bryce Dallas Howard, those two from the original, for the three newest ones. But then from the original, you've got Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum coming back. This supposedly is the last one. This is a situation where all the dinosaurs are out and about, and they are trying to share the planet with humans and vice versa. Will it happen? And then, of course, there's that one dinosaur, Blue, that in the beginning was kind of the good guy of the dinosaurs, if you remember, because Chris Pratt raised Blue. Do you remember this or no?
I saw the original, and I didn't like the sequel, and then that whole set of new Jurassic World movies, never saw them.
Wow. Let's go. You mentioned the original. Let's go back to the original. Let's just see what it was like. The wonder of a brand new franchise, a brand new idea.
Yesterday. Well, we clocked the T-Rex at 32 miles an hour.
T-Rex?
Mm-hmm.
You said you've got a T-Rex?
Uh-huh.
Put your head between your knees.
Dr. Grant, welcome to Jurassic Park.
So you remember Jurassic Park, right? You just said that. Do you remember that feel when you saw that scene? Do you remember that scene? Where they first see the dinosaurs? Okay. Go.
Because I saw it in the Ziegfeld Theater in New York City, which is a old school theater, and it was in surround sound or whatever they had back then. And it was so when you saw the iconic shot of the glass of water on the dashboard of the car shake a little bit because of the giant footstep of the dinosaur, and you felt it in the theater. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that was impressive. And I remember also seeing the Brontosaurus for the first time. This is what that scene was we just saw here, with the eating from the tree.
Right.
Making a sound, and they were like freaked out, which I totally remember. Now we're at Jurassic World, we're beyond the wonder. We're in the middle of surviving against them and so forth and fighting with them. So it has evolved. I would suggest Jurassic World is a lot of fun. I think they're doing a great job with them. I usually don't go for this stuff because I hated the new Star Wars stuff because it was just a revisit.
Oh.
This is not a revisit. This is extending the stories. I think.
So you think I should go back and start watching from? So it's any movies with the title Jurassic World?
Yes. Chris Pratt is great. He's the new...
I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's the new Indiana Jones, so to speak, if you ask me. And I just,
No one asked you, but okay.
But that's what the show's all about. No one asked me for any of this stuff. But
I like Chris Pratt. He could be the new Indiana Jones. I think you're right. You're onto something.
I am. I thank you. I like to hear that. It's just... I think you're going to enjoy it. It's a lot of new stuff and the special effects, and they do different things than like the same old story all over again. So go for that. Now, let's look at this, something I'm not sure I'm into. Top Gun Maverick.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced. His exploits are legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death.
Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
All right, so, there's Maverick.
Oh, God. Tom Cruise is in it.
Tom Cruise again. And
wow, why does that guy need to do this? Why
he
is he
loves
it?
I don't care what anybody says. He puts everything into these movies. There's not a bad... there are bad movies, but I don't know what to say. He puts out stuff that you at least have to say, well, maybe I'll take a look at that. Like, it's interesting stuff.
Action-adventure movies? Yeah, yes. I agree. Yeah.
So, but do you even care about these characters? Do you remember these characters originally? Val Kilmer is in this also, who was originally...
Val Kilmer? He's still around?
Yeah,
we can get him on the show.
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try. I have tried. But here's a little bit of the original. Let's look at the original. This is, 30 years ago was the original of this.
I'm Charlotte Blackwood.
I'm Maverick.
Maverick? Does your mother not like you or something?
No, it's my call sign.
You're a pilot.
That's right, a naval aviator.
You hear the voices a little different, but you put them side by side, it's the same guy. But he just doesn't age. I said that. But
I didn't know you were such a big Tom Cruise fan.
I have to tell you, I never thought I was either. I have to be totally honest with you. And I'm not that big a fan because guess what? I have no interest at all. I didn't like Top Gun. I'm not going to like this one. The arrogance, the flyboy, whatever. It doesn't interest me at all. How about you?
Huh, okay. I don't even remember Top Gun. So I remember seeing it. I couldn't tell you anything about it other than there was two guys in a plane.
Right.
That's all I remember. And I'm sure there was a woman involved. So I'm like you. I have no desire to see this either.
Though I could be talked into it if I hear scuttlebutt that they did something new with these characters, not just revisit them again 30 years later. Right?
And I cannot be talked into it. So,
can you be talked into listening to this or watching this?
Aquaman,
Remember
swift
this?
and powerful monarch of the oceans, with ability to summon and command all creatures of the deep. Aquaman, who with his teenage ally Aqualad guards and defends all that lives in the seas against the forces of evil. Aquaman, king of the seven seas.
How about that? 1967 that came out, that cartoon. I know, I watched it in the 70s. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Saturday morning.
Great.
Did you love it? Or did you, well, give me some.
No, I loved it. Are you kidding? I loved all those superhero cartoons, the DC and the Marvel.
Yes.
They were great.
Yes. So now we've got the second Aquaman coming out, the live action. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let's just see, we came from that to this.
Your mother always knew you were special.
You are part of something deeper. You are the bridge between land and sea.
All right, now this Jason Momoa, I think, has done a great job with Aquaman, but and I really liked the first movie as far as that's concerned, as far as a Disney movie.
It was terrible.
No, I have to tell you, it wasn't bad, but as far as a DC movie, they're so dark all the time. That, you know, look where it started in '67 with that great
dark
cartoon.
In what way?
The message, the filming, it has no. This one at least added color. Some of the other ones, the Batman and Superman, they're so the color.
Oh, you mean okay? I see.
On the screen,
visually,
they tamped down that color. I don't know why. And it's a cartoon, guys, or it's a comic book, but DC tries to make it real, and to their detriment, I think they lose a sense of humor. And whatever. Do you have an interest in seeing the second Aquaman?
I didn't have an interest in seeing the first Aquaman.
How about that? You didn't.
So,
all right.
No.
Well, I mean, I think it's
because I heard I kind of gave up on the DC movies. I really did. Yeah. And that one did not get great reviews, so I had no desire to see it.
And the new Wonder Woman 1980s did not do well either, which I think they destroyed.
I know.
They destroyed
and
that
character. And I liked the original.
Yeah, they destroyed that character. All right, we'll be back, and we'll find some movies that we're going to watch soon on Everything Else.
Aquaman, swift and powerful monarch of the ocean.
Do you believe a thing can be inherently evil? The Marston House, for instance. The vampires are creating vampires.
Hi, this is David Soul. You're listening to Douglas Viviani and David Cohen, and everything old is new again. Take my word for it.
How about that? Listen to that. That was... We're back here. We talk about movies 2022. That was 1979. Do you remember this? They used to do movies of the week. First off, do you remember them doing that, David?
On TV, yes.
Yes.
Right.
That was the intro. That, if you remember that will bring it back. At one point, they did a Salem's Lot 1979 with David Soul, who later on appeared on Everything Old is New Again. So look at that.
As we just heard, yeah.
Look at that. The question is, they're doing a new Salem's Lot now.
Is David Soul involved in that one?
He's not involved in it. Do you have an interest in seeing I guess you're saying a reboot of Salem's Lot?
No. Why would I? Tell me why I should.
I'm going to assume that they feel that special effects make it better.
I mean, you're saying Salem's Lot like I'm supposed to know what Salem's Lot is. Wow. I have no idea. I vaguely remember it from the 70s. Like there was something called Salem's Lot, but that's all I know.
I'll tell you, it's Stephen King. It's vampires. And I have to tell you, maybe it's because of the age. Maybe I was young at the time, whatever. That was a scary movie. Scary movie. You want to see something scary? Salem's Lot.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
What's also scary is that, so they're redoing that. I have to go back to Aquaman for a second. I just love that cartoon. Did you see the sense? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I think I'm going to agree. I think I know where you're going, so let me hear it.
All right. The sense of fun, the almost tongue-in-cheek, the way they presented, Aquaman, and he has these powers, and he's the king of the sea, and he's all good. And now we've got Aquaman who's serious, and he's downtrodden, and he's upset all the time, and everything's angry, and it's just not where... I go to the world of superheroes to escape that stuff. I want to see a hero. I want to see him right all the time, and I want to see him do the right thing. A guy that can live underwater. Like it is a fantasy, right? Do they not get that, David Cohen?
I totally agree with you. The fun, I think, is just not there. They don't poke fun at themselves, or they don't. There's no lightness to it, and that's what we watched originally, right? We wanted to see them win, and some of them would be, making these little quips, these little, clever quips.
Comic books.
Why does everything have to be dark and brooding? Is what you're saying, right? That's not how we remembered it, and it's not as fun.
And life in general for people can be dark and brooding many times, right? I don't want to go see a movie where it's dark and brooding. I want to get out of that. It's called Aquaman. It's not, what I mean? Like, there can't be anything more unrealistic than a guy that can live underwater and control the powers of the sea.
And not only was it him, what happened to Aqualad? And why was he named Aqualad instead of Aquaboy?
You didn't hear.
Or Aquakid?
No, he and Robin are off starting their own Justice League, we should say, junior group.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
That's what happened to Aqualad.
Yes, he did.
How did they come up with Aqualad?
The worst thing, forget Aqualad. I don't know how they... Where did he come from? Aquaman didn't have a wife, right?
You find one guy, right, Aquaman, who can do all these incredible things, and suddenly he has a sidekick who can also do those incredible things? How did that happen?
But he can only do it with the guppies and the smaller fish. He can't... That's he's like Aqua.
He has amazing power over goldfish. That's about it.
I don't know where to go with this other than to say that, the second thing I don't understand is Super Dog. Where did that come from? There's Superboy, and he's got a dog that can fly too. Now that was.
Did he come from Krypton also? And what happened? I guess they put the dog in the capsule with.
Yeah, we just forgot about that.
I guess. Okay. I don't know.
All right. How about you want to talk about Sublime to the Ridiculous? Remember this one?
Now, at last, they're about to find that one girl who will sweep them off their feet.
That's a baby.
Touchstone Pictures presents 3 normally intelligent men and 1 little girl.
So, what do you want to do?
They're about to discover the only thing worse than raising her is losing her.
We should be her family.
Okay, so 3 Men and a Baby. First of all, I've got to say this. The director...
Are you saying that's a new movie coming out?
They are now remaking 3 Men and a Baby with Zac Efron. And their pitch is that it's going to have an address the changing societal views on fatherhood while also maintaining the spirit of its predecessor. First of all, I didn't know that fatherhood's views of the society's views of fatherhood has changed. I don't know where that... You can explain it to me. I'm open. Trust me, I'm open to all this stuff. But I don't really get what you're saying. Does that? I don't know. Fatherhood has changed.
Was the first movie just not an accurate portrayal of fatherly responsibility? I don't know. I'm asking.
It's
maybe.
not. The first movie, it was a tribute to fatherhood because this baby didn't have a father, and the 3 of them came along, and they loved this child, and they raised the child as their own, and the goofs, and the poop, and the how do you feed, and all that stuff. I'm guessing. I have no idea because they had no idea. Maybe we're saying the new movie.
Portrayed the fathers originally as just bumbling fools because that's how fathers were portrayed for many, many, many years. And in they didn't know how to deal with their own kid.
Right.
So maybe that's what they're getting at.
So if that's the case, I go for it because I was, and I know you were a dad. We were hands-on. We weren't those bumbling fools. You are in the beginning. No. Listen, you always are in the beginning. That's the funny part, yes. But by like month 6 or something, you finally got it down, right? If they're doing that, I get it. But I'm always under the impression that they're always picking on the guy because, I don't know, I look at the commercials all the time, and every guy in the commercial is always the goof and always the silly guy. Like, so I guess, I don't know. I don't know why that has to be. We could do both sides of the fence. Guys are silly, but there are guys that are smart, too, just like women. We don't have to... Anyway.
Yeah, men have been getting the short end of the stick for a long, long time. It's about time that they're given more credit. No, seriously. I think... 3 Men and a Baby. I have literally no interest in seeing this movie.
I'm interested to see how they revamp it, but my point is, and what I really wanted to say from the beginning is, Star Trek reference. Who directed that movie? Leonard Nimoy.
Shatner?
Leonard Nimoy directed that movie.
Oh, the original?
Yes.
Well, not right. He couldn't do it now. Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Good. Oh, so there it is. That's my discussion. How about David Cohen?
You know, why have we talked about this yet? Like, what Hollywood does with the reboots, that's not like a pandemic-related new thing. I mean, they've been doing that forever. It's so much easier just to keep playing on the same thing. You don't have to be creative. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. It's proven to be successful. So why not make prequels and sequels and reboots and all that?
I do see your point. However, if we time traveled back to 1970, I don't think you'd see the majority. I'm saying the majority.
70? That was 50, 60 years ago.
Even 90. If you go back to 90, I don't think that you would see. Well, 70 is not 60 years ago. 70 is 80, 90. Huh?
It's whatever it is. It's too long for the for the time frame.
All right, so let's go back even to 1995, and I would bet maybe we'll do this and check. I would bet the majority of movies still have original ideas. Now the clear and large.
No way, man.
All right, I'm going to do the research because I'll say this: the one I'm looking at is probably 80% or more. 80% of the movies coming out are based upon a sequel or a classic or an old character we know about and so forth, right? There's nothing brand new coming out. And I'm not putting it down because sometimes they do it great. Sometimes it works out beautifully, but sometimes it doesn't. And I also would like to see some new ideas. That's all I'm saying, once in a while. And there is a new idea. Here's one I think is pretty cool. How about this? This one's kind of seems new, but maybe not. The School for Good and Evil. First of all, looks like new movie makers, new producers, new actors and actresses. So it's Netflix, release date, 2022. David Cohen, what is this about? You have any clue?
Yeah, well, I understand it's based on a novel that came out, maybe 10 years ago or so. It sounds to me a lot like, Harry Potter, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it is Harry Potter-ish, and they're saying that they're hoping that this is a young adult fantasy film is what they're saying. And they're saying that they're looking forward to this being like the new Harry Potter, which it does have that element to it of this is two girls now in the school, friends together, and they're trying to, explore their powers. And I believe we're going to go down like a Wicked kind of, if you've seen Broadway play Wicked, well, one's going to be kind of, quote, evil, and one's going to be, quote, good, but they're still friends, and what's that going to be like?
Right.
And so it could be good. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this. And it is something that, to me, is a relatively new idea. We're saying Harry Potter-ish, but this is new. It's a new writing. It's a new book. It's a new idea. So something new. And that's what I'm looking for. Is I like the old stuff. I'm not putting it down. I really do. But I'm a fan of coming up with new ideas. At some point in time, Stan Lee created all of these characters. They didn't exist before. So why can't there be a new Stan Lee that creates something new? It doesn't have to be comics of any kind of entertainment. Does that make sense?
I think there is. I think that there are, maybe we're not giving enough emphasis on the fact that there is a lot coming out that's new and original stuff. But I think what's pushed in your face are the sequels and prequels and redos.
Right. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some of the new things as well and see if we can, roll our sleeves up and get some more ideas as to what to watch 2022. There ain't old.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished.
This just got out of hand.
This just got out of hand. Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. This is going to be movie of movies. I know this is going to be, it's Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. David Cohen.
I can't, man. I spent part of the pandemic going through every movie in the Marvel universe. Okay, right through Endgame, and I don't know why I did it. I wasted so many hours of my life, Doug. And I'm not a better person for it. And yeah, I understand what happened, and I no more like FOMO, fear of missing out, which is one of the reasons I did it. Like, how can I not be up on that? But I just don't feel good about having done that, and I'm done with the Marvel universe. I can't anymore. I can't.
You didn't watch the WandaVision, which was
that's why, because I liked WandaVision. Right. So, and there were so many references to movies. I said, okay, I got to go back. I got to watch all the movies. I got to watch them all. Well, I didn't enjoy WandaVision anymore because I knew that. So it was a completely bad call.
I have a theory. I think, because to me, these movies are an event. The kids and I, now there's a different perspective, but I'm just going to throw it out there. The kids and I go to these movies. We don't watch them. We do not watch them on TV at home. We don't. We go to the theater every 6 months, whatever it is, and we don't see all of them. We see the ones that we really are interested in and go to Marvel, and we make a thing of it. We have a dinner beforehand.
That's perfect. Yes,
well, that's what I'm saying. So in that context, it delivers because it's an event.
I understand.
For you, it was a binge, and I've got to get through this, and is there something to this? So I get both sides of the fence on that. I do get that.
I remember taking my son to Marvel movies, and you're right, it was an event. It was something we did together. It was fun. It was an experience. Yeah, for that reason, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, if you look at a Shakespeare, and I'm not trying to be condescending, I'm trying to give an example, but if you look at something that's really got, there's some meaning, some stuff, but for the most part, it's popcorn. It's not steak and eggs or whatever.
Right.
So I'll go with you on that. I get that. But I'm getting the popcorn, and we sneak in. I have to tell this in the story.
Sneak in? What?
We go now. Listen. I am just such a
Are we getting back to the bad father that you've been
Yes.
Okay,
I am
let's hear this
such a freaking cheapskate. I am not spending. First of all, for the popcorn right now and the drink, and you can't get a small one. They don't even make them anymore. You have to spend about $15 for popcorn and a drink, all right? $12. So I'll buy that. Fine, I'll do that. That's the movies. I get it. I'm not spending $8 on a chocolate bar or Goobers, $8. I'm not doing it. Times 3 people with the 3. I'm not doing it. So, boy, should I say this over the air? We go to 7-Eleven.
What do you do?
The guy knows us at 7-Eleven. Goes, oh, you guys going to a movie? Because he knows every 3 months we go in there and we plunder 7-Eleven for whatever we want to get, the candies that we're going to eat in the theater, and we put them on our jackets and our pockets and whatever.
Oh, see, I'm so ignorant. They don't let you bring candy in from the outside.
I don't think so. No, they're selling it there. I don't think they want you to bring it in. So we're walking. I
thought you were going to say you snuck into movies.
No. But we sneak in the Goobers and whatever, and we walk very gingerly so you don't hear us crinkling as you go by. We don't.
But you're screwed if they end up doing those security pat downs.
Yes. We get thrown out for the Goobers and the I don't know, the Swedish fish and whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to treat the kids like drug mules, right?
Well, Dad's usually
stick this up there and we'll take the Goobers out when we get inside the theater.
Put this down your underwear, Leo. But don't worry, you'll want to eat it afterwards. Anyway, that's just as an aside. But I mean, I just can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm going to take us down another road here. This is different. I would hesitate, but I'm going to go into this. We were going to go bowling as a family yesterday. Mm-hmm. I go online and reserve 2 hours, unlimited bowling for 4 people. How much do you think it would cost? How much do you think that costs? Long Island.
2 hours, unlimited. I would say $20 an hour.
Okay, so that would be what? A total bill, what would you think it would be for 4 people?
Just to bowl, 40.
40, throw the shoes in, how much?
4 people, so maybe 60.
All right, so $60 would be reasonable for 2 hours bowling, right? I think that's true, too. You know what it came up to? And I didn't do it.
No.
$207.
Come on.
I'm not kidding. $207.
Come on.
$207 to bowl for 2 hours. It's not that much fun. I got news for you. But it is fun. It's fun at $60. I agree with you. It's not fun at $207.
No.
When the local community theater is doing a play, just as an example, that's really well done for $25 a person. Like what? I just don't get it. Anyway, that's the newest thing that's like a bug up my.
Yikes! That's incredible.
So I said, I'm sorry. Because then you're buying, on top of that, of course, you're going to buy food and drink and whatever, right? So it's a $300 day.
That's just for the privilege of bowling, right?
Bowling, which they don't even like that much. They don't have their own balls. They're not going to bowl over 100. They're barely going to get to 100. It's just a novelty. So, but I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the boat here. Someone tell us everythingoldsnewagain.biz or everythingoldsnewagain at AOL.com. Tell me what's happened to bowling, what made it. Is there something that happens on that bowling alley that I'm not aware of that makes it worthwhile? I can think of a few things, but I don't think I would bring the family to it. I don't know what would be of interest.
I'm not even sure what you mean.
Well, alcohol and whatever else included. I don't know, something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what you're attracting a family of four to for 2 hours of bowling for
$200. That just no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I would go see Turning Red, which is brand new. I don't know. It's a family movie. It's of interest a little bit with this young lady. She's 13. She's torn between staying her mother's dutiful daughter and the chaos of adolescence. And
is this where she turns into a panda or something?
Right. It's like a Hulk kind of a thing. But
that's interesting. Is that Disney and Pixar?
It sure is. What do you think? You go for this or no?
I mean, no, I don't go to those movies anymore because I don't have kids to take.
Right, but if you did, what would you think?
Absolutely, sure.
Not bad, right? Something to think about. How about have you seen? I think we have to do it. I'm going to do an episode on this, on mysteries or something. But have you seen the newest incarnation of the Agatha Christie movies? Death on the Nile is coming out now with Kenneth Branagh, and he also did Murder on the Orient Express.
I like Murder on the Orient Express, and I love Kevin Branagh, so I'll see Death on the Nile.
I will too. It looks great. I think he's really hit something here. He's doing it so well. Let's hope that Death on the Nile is done well, where they lay out the whole story and you could try to figure it out yourself. And all.
They make it fun. Yes. I remember Orient Express was a really fun take on it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was very surprised to like it because I saw the original and did not like it. Also, Knives Out. Have you seen that?
That was funny. The first one I thought was good.
The new one coming out as well. So that could be
but so do you go out and see it in the theaters, or is that coming to Netflix? That's a definite stay-at-home, I think, for me, kind of movie.
Could be. How about the but it's definitely a viewer. You got to see it.
I think so. I would give it a shot.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Tell us about that one. Are you familiar with it?
Is that Nicolas Cage sort of playing himself and forced into being Nicolas Cage, the action hero?
What do you think?
I actually saw a trailer for it. And to me, it sounds better on paper than what I saw in the trailer. But it's definitely one I would wait to, see the reviews. I like Nicolas Cage, so my instinct would be to see it. But I want to hear what they say.
The guy that plays the Mandalorian under that mask.
I love him.
Pedro Pascal.
I love Pedro Pascal.
He is in this movie as the billionaire who hires Nicolas Cage.
I know. It's another reason I would go see it. Yeah. Because I like the people in it, but...
Not to ruin it, because it didn't really explain it. What happens is Nicolas Cage goes to this party. This guy's a super fan, and he has to become a version of some of his most iconic and beloved characters to extricate his wife and his daughter from a notorious drug lord. So I don't know. That's
very meta concept, and it could work, but you'd have to. Yeah, I'd have to wait for the reviews on this one.
Let's go one more. How about Zach Levi's going to be in The Unbreakable Boy? Any interest in this? New idea.
It is a new idea. Sure. So I'm into, like you, I prefer to see something that has never been done before.
Yeah, and this is a rare, brittle bone disease-ridden child who has autism, and it's a feel-good where this child still has so much to offer, and they recognize that. So
if it's done well, I'd see it.
Yeah, I go for that. I like that a lot. Listen, I got to say this. Most of these movies I'm diving into. I love movies and all that. I just want to see them, if they're going to do something old and create it as new again, I want to see them do it well, like Kenneth Branagh's doing, and add something new to it. Give me some new elements, whatever it might be, a different angle, a different way of filming it, whatever you want to say, something new that's going to say to them, I'm going to say, well, that was... maybe if not better than the original, and maybe sometimes it is, it's at least comparable, or wow, it was different. It took me down a different road and made me look at the original in a different way.
Agreed. I've been back at the movies, Doug. We've been doing date night for like over a month now.
What have you seen?
It's been great.
I love it. Good. What have you seen?
Some really good ones and new ones on that subject.
Like what? You got 35 seconds.
35 seconds. The Worst Person in the World. Great movie. If you don't mind subtitles. I was telling Doug off the air, I watch everything at home with subtitles, including shows that are English, American English. Still need the subtitles.
You don't want to miss a word.
Licorice Pizza is pretty good, too.
What's that about?
They're both kind of like love stories.
Okay.
But very quirky, very fresh ideas, great writing, great directing, great acting. Good experience all around.
All right, those two I'm going to get this weekend with the wife. Those are now something.
See the second one, not Licorice Pizza. The Worst Person in the World.
Worst Person in the World first.
Your wife's isn't to acting. She'll appreciate it.
All right, I wrote it down. Listen, come on back next week.
I weeped.
Wow, that takes a whale of a lot to do. I'm very interested now. Let's see if that carries the day for me. I'm going to go for it. I'll let you know. Everything else new again. We'll be back next week. Talk about more movies. 2022.